latest episode of that SEC podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bratton. Go by SEC Mike on them Twitters. And there he is, everybody's early cousin Shade. What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey, I think I fixed the pop, and let me know.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good, man. No pops.
Okay, great.
Pops. You ever had rock pops?
Rock pops, yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what kind of witchcraft that stuff is, but never was a fan, but just thought of it.
The only candy Shane won't eat.
You found it. No, there's a few. Candy corn's on the list.
Okay.
Peeps is definitely on the list. There's a few. There's a few.
Candy corn is a little too close to a vegetable for you.
Yeah, well, but damn, I would eat it, right? I just wouldn't. Peeps is probably like the number one. Those peanuts, those circus peanuts. That's another one.
Right.
Not doing it.
Well, Shane, speaking of circus.
Hell yeah.
We got quite the show lined up for these cousins. Let me tell you, we got the SEC championship game to preview, predict. We've got, I was going to do a little recruiting roundup. I got us some good coach clips. We got all kinds of news and notes around the SEC. But before we get going, hey, I wanted to remind the cousins, Shane, we will be here.
Oh, my bookie.
Or be there.
Yes.
Brew Pub Saturday. The game's at 4 Eastern, Shane, Eastern time. We're in Atlanta, of course.
Yes.
4 o'clock is the game. We will be there 3 o'clock, and we'll be there for the game. Stats Brew Pub, 300 Marietta Street, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, right next to the College Football Hall of Fame, which is very close to the stadium itself. So maybe you're going to the game. Maybe you want to pop in. Maybe you're like us. You can't afford to get in the game. You can come hang out with us and just pound some beers. You don't have to be an Alabama or Georgia fan, but the more the merrier. Just come on down. You know what?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a cool event. They'll have the fanfare thing going on as well. That doesn't cost a dime to get in. So if you want to walk around and get behind the scenes of SEC Network, but they've got a whole bunch of sponsors and stuff. It's just a cool environment. And then when you get done with all that walking, come on over. Can't miss me. I'll have a little, I'll be the one with the sailboat on the shirt. So be sure to find us. You can't miss us. Looking forward to all the cousins finally making it down there.
And my game plan, Shane, I think you're coming in a little bit later, but my game plan on Friday is going to be at the fan event.
Yes.
And probably Saturday as well before this, obviously. So, we'll be all around that place. You know what?
Saturday, definitely Saturday early. I'd like to get down there and check that out, and then we'll mosey on over. So if we got to be there at 3, we probably should head there about 2, don't you think? It's 2 blocks, so that gives us 30 minutes a block to get over there.
Well, this shouldn't be a surprise to any of the cousins, but the game plan's always we got to feed the beast over here to gear him up.
My sugar's dropping.
So we'll get some good breakfast before that's what we'll do first. You know what?
Yes. Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a blast. And I hope that it turns out to be an awesome game as well. It seems like Georgia, Bama, when they always get together, something crazy always happens. So I'm looking forward to an entertaining night as well.
Right. And it's always an entertaining night, Shane. If you check out MyBookie, come on, presenting sponsor of the show this football season. Go check them out. MyBookie.ag is the website. Promo code SEC. You got all kinds of bonuses, specials. We got this championship weekend. We got the playoffs coming up. We still got NFL. NBA's kicked off. I believe NHL's kicked off. I mean, they got you covered. Literally every sport you want over at MyBookie. You know it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And then once you get your winnings over at MyBookie,
there's a place you need to go, Mike, where everybody knows your name.
Tennessee Legend Distillery. Tell them about it, Shane.
That's right, man. We got a couple of spots in Sevier County. The one I like to frequent is by the Target. And right when you're going into the Smokies, right when you're leaving the Smokies, one of the first or last stops needs to be the Tennessee Legend Distillery. Let them know the cousin sent you. Not only are you going to get a discount, but you're also going to get a bonus gift. Hello. Be sure to send us a picture, too. I always like to see the cousins when they make a visit to the distillery.
I would love it, Shane. I would love it.
It's fun, man. Just having some sipping and cutting loose with those guys and girls. It's just a fun group to be around.
Right. And, speaking of a fun time, Shane.
Yeah.
I want this to be on everybody's radar here. They've announced it here. Shout out Commissioner Greg Sankey, the best commissioner out there, Shane. We got the 2026 SEC schedule reveal a week from today. So Thursday, December 11th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time. They're going to do a live release on the SEC network. So plan for us to break it down in real time. I would prefer you didn't even turn on the SEC network, but you could have it on in the background. Just have us in the four, or probably what you really want to do is switch it, put them on the big screen, put us on the small screen. But either way, we'll be reacting to it live next Thursday, December 11th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, the 2026 schedule reveal.
I feel like we're turning into our papaws, man. Just turn down the TV and up the radio and listen to them boys announce,
Well, I mean, we could curse, we could cut, we could call them out, we could do all kinds of stuff. You know what?
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't have a lot of tape to go through, so I'm looking forward to it. And I feel like this is, I don't know. I know the season's over for a lot of teams, but it's just something to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
You start thinking about, okay, I got my new coach, or I've got this, I've got that. Next year's our year, that side. And then you see the schedule, and you're going to see 9 SEC games. It's going to look pretty wild. So I'm looking forward to it, hanging out with the cousins, of course.
And speaking of cussing, Shane.
Yeah?
I might do a little cussing if I have to watch this man. Shout out Lane Kiffin. He's going to be on College Game Day as predicted here on this show. College Game Day leading up to the SEC Championship. Shout out Kiffin.
PR team.
Finally made his journey he finally made the SEC Championship, Shade. He made it as a game day guy because he'll never make it as a coach. Remember, he said he didn't want to coach in a game. Well, he didn't even. He didn't
Mission
have to.
accomplished,
Yeah, so that's going to be Saturday as well, and I'm just preparing y'all. He's going to say, I wanted to coach in the playoff, yada yada. Like he's going to do the ultimate spin job there. So just prepare yourself, and this is why, if you're Ole Miss, you can't let this guy again. He would do the same thing. He'd go on game day and be like, "We're going to bring LSU back," blah blah blah. And then he's like, "All right, now we got a game to prep for Ole Miss." You know what I mean? It's a commercial for LSU, is what it is.
Now, will he be getting a police escort? That's what I need to know. Is the man going to be safe? Johnsonville will be there, right? There may be plenty of mustard around. Oh, shit. Yeah, oh, poor Lane. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that one. Do you think they put sad music in the background? Dim it? Make it black and white, You know how they do. Sometimes they got those emotional pieces in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can sense it.
Yeah. He'll probably bring out the dog. Apparently, he's dragging the dog back to Baton Rouge.
Oh, damn.
Because he got blowback for abandoning the dog.
Yeah.
Which wasn't his to begin with, apparently.
Exactly. He hasn't seen that dog since day one, since it was a puppy. It's like my kid. When they always pick an animal out, it's like all of a sudden we got a cat. And we're like, wait a minute. We got to take care of this thing, It's like they like it for 2 days. So that's exactly what Lane did here.
Hey, all right. Let's transition from Miss Shane.
Yes.
Have you seen Vanderbilt? Now, this is apparently legitimate here. Clark Lee has told his team, have your bags ready to go. We're going to play us another game. We're going to try to do it. Now, they've already come down and said, no, we're not going to allow you to do it.
Yeah.
But because Vanderbilt, if you missed it, I'm sure you haven't by now, but they are number 14 in the playoff rankings, little to none. I mean, I don't think there's any shot at this point that they can get into the college football playoff, unfortunately. So their plan was, let's schedule us another game. I guess Miami or someone of that caliber to try to prove to the committee that, hey, we belong in here.
Yeah.
And that has been denied. But hey, if Alabama and Georgia, I know it's different because they made the conference championship, but don't you think there's a case to be made if you're on the outside looking in to say, well, why can't we just play another game to kind of prove that we belong in?
Oh, I see nothing wrong with this, right? And the fact you deny it, I find a little amusing, right? I mean, because you don't even have to have fans there, right? You just have to have a couple of cameras and video this thing and hell, throw it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I just hate that. I don't know, man. It's over. It's really over. And this is like blaming the officials. You know, we're going to blame the committee and everything. But honestly, Mike, the longer this goes, I think we should probably let this one rest, right?
Yeah, perhaps. But I set that up, Shane, because we got Kirby here.
Yeah.
He was asked about it. I thought it was pretty interesting where he said, hey, you know, what's your thoughts on Vanderbilt trying to schedule out another game? So let's kick it old Curbs, the clapper.
There was obviously comments made by Vanderbilt coach Clark Lee about them potentially wanting to play another game to showcase their worth to the College Football Playoff Committee. I'm wondering, is that something that, you know, you could see down the line of other teams wanting to play an extra game just to showcase their skills before a final ranking? Or do you see that, potentially happening more?
Not sure. Probably depends on what seat you sit in, right? So everybody on the outside looking in wants another game. And people would argue you had plenty of games. Everybody on the inside looking out say, I'm good. I'll stay right where I'm at. I'm okay. I played well enough. So, I think it's been talked about. I think it's, one of those things that was tossed around early on last year about the possibility of playing within your conference or cross-conference to have some play-in games, which is nothing more than an extension of the playoffs, and you would play in from that perspective. But we'll still debate about who's in those play-in games and who would have the right to play in those games to advance and move on. But there was speculation about that early on, and I think there's coaches that think that's a better model because it gives their fan base something to hope for and wish for outside of the 12. Everybody's trying to get a piece of the 12, and it's very elusive. It's very hard. So if it gives more people an opportunity, that's good for some. And there'll be those that probably would have made it in another year that might lose, that wish they didn't have that opportunity.
You know who wants another game, Mike? Losers. That's who. Kirby's a bully, ain't he? I like it.
But, that's a fair point. Let's say it was Vanderbilt and Texas. Then it would be, I don't know, Tennessee and Missouri bitching, why don't we get a shot? You know what I mean? So I get it. It would kind of be an endless cycle from that. And there's teams that probably who would be on the outside, just on the outside looking in. Alabama right now. Now, of course, there is speculation they could get kicked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we start doing this, teams that are in, or just on the bubble, I guess Notre Dame is probably a better example. They could get knocked out, which I would be in favor of personally. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting because he kind of is he's kind of the authority now that Saban is stopped speaking and other than PR stuff. You know what?
I do wonder what would have happened if Kirby was on the outside looking in, like if they would have dropped one more game. I don't think they would have dropped out, but it's just kind of funny. There's the haves and have-nots, and if you're in, you're in, right? So I feel like there's always going to be a little bit of negative blowback on the outside. But again, it's this type of conversations that are kind of pointing the finger at this committee and how stupid it's become, right? So yeah. I feel like even though, yes, a playing game is probably not going to happen here, the fact that we're talking about this, that we're making a public joke about this, maybe that changes something in the future because clearly something's got to be fixed here.
Yeah, and I mean, Steve Waters, he's got a good point. Hey, win your damn games, you're in. It's that simple. But is it, Shane? Is it when Miami, they beat Notre Dame last I checked.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's in. Miami's currently not. Same record, head to head. I'm just saying. So they've complicated this whole deal.
Yeah, it's getting a little murky, isn't it? And leaving teams out because of injuries, right? You know,
Right.
and I again, it's just when you have human element involved, I feel like there's going to be mistakes or maybe emotional picking. And that's what it feels like it's boiled down to. We know the best 12 teams will not be represented in the college football playoffs. The committee knows this, yet they're going to pick them because that's what they feel like they should do or what others think they should do. And then same old, we got a team getting blown out by 40 points in week 1.
Right. And then I know these teams are firmly in, but so this is maybe not exactly what he was just referencing there with win and you're in, but you could also make the case, hey, Bama, they've lost twice, Shane, and they're in the SEC championship. Last time I checked, A&M's got 1 loss. Ole Miss got 1 loss. So I know it's not, SEC multiple losses, but
it's the win and get in that kind of drives me a little nuts because, and just think, if Vanderbilt had BYU's schedule, they're in.
right.
There's no doubt that they're potentially going undefeated. Worst case scenario, 1 loss, they're getting in. So Texas Tech, same thing. I just feel like, win, get in. That's true to an extent, but you're comparing apples and oranges here as far as scheduling.
Right. And I don't watch this team, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass here.
Yeah.
But everybody is like head over heels with Indiana.
Yes.
And again, for all I know, maybe they are the best damn team in the country, Shane. For all I know. Again, I don't watch them.
Yeah.
But I was looking at this over the week. Here's their schedule. Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, which I guess Illinois was good or ranked when they beat them. Illinois went 8-4. That's one of their best wins. Iowa beat them by 5. Oregon, that's a good win.
Right.
Michigan State fired their coach. UCLA fired their coach. Maryland probably should have fired their coach. Penn State fired their coach. Wisconsin, they've been talking about firing this guy all year.
Yeah.
And Purdue. So, again, does that necessarily mean Indiana's not a good team? No. But just tell me one freaking SEC team, Shane, that would say, nah, I don't want that schedule. Like I wouldn't trade ours for that one. Every damn one of them would say, even Missouri, who we view as like this shitty schedule, Tennessee, would Tennessee switch for that?
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Missouri, would you switch for that?
Go to Vanderbilt. Here's the thing. They played Virginia Tech, right?
Yeah.
They didn't go through 4 cupcakes. Granted, they did 3, but one did beat them last year, so maybe that wasn't a good example.
No, I still think it's a good example. But I think Vanderbilt's a tougher schedule than that.
So, Alabama's their Oregon, right?
Yeah.
But, okay, who's their Purdue? Is it Kentucky? Is it Georgia State? I don't know, Drew Brees ain't suiting up, you know what I'm saying?
No, he is not. So, I don't know. That's damn comical to me. You know what?
I just can't wait. It's always fun. We do this. We did it last year. We're going to do it this year. Signetti going to get up there and make his funny jokes and then get his ass kicked and disappear for another 3 months.
Hey, shout out to Florida, Shane. Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about some Florida Gators because their staff is coming together pretty quickly here. So I think, didn't you and I already talk about it last episode? They got Brad White, the Kentucky defensive coordinator. He's been up there for years with Mark Stoops. He's his grade is very good, like a B+ type grade. He's never had a ton of talent to work with, but he's still been able to get a lot of the guys to the NFL and put together some pretty good defenses. Now Florida has put together perhaps one of the best offensive coordinators in the country. Shane, Buster Faulkner from Georgia Tech completes the coordinator duo there in Florida for Jon Sumrall. So I think early leader in the clubhouse, now this could change, but early leader in the clubhouse for best new coordinator pairing. I think it's got to be Florida
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I do think it's kind of funny. It's like, I don't hire my buddies. And then he goes out here and hires one of his buddies. He's like, but hey, we've been talking. There was a long time we were thinking about White getting his own head coaching job at some point, right? We've made mention. In fact, he still probably could get hired somewhere at some point. So yeah, I like this because, when I think of Jon Sumrall, let's say, like, for instance, Alex Golish. The first thing that I think of about Alex Golish is that they are going to have an explosive offense. Why? Because Alex is there, right? Jon, on the other hand, I feel like is going to have a good team. Why? Because he can develop, right? Because he can build, and the fact that he goes out here and gets two of the best coordinators that are available, we didn't even know they were available. I think that speaks volume to those coaches taking a chance on Jon Sumrall, thinking, hey, we've got something here, So yeah, I think that's a big sign, because there's a lot of coaches that have these moments where they can get some recruits in, they get a little buzz, maybe they get one or two good hires, but most of the time it's one or the other. It's either A, you're good at recruiting or good at developing coaches. So the fact that you've got both right now out of the gate, I think that's pretty strong for them Florida Gators.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, Shane, I'm not quite sold on this move.
Yeah.
So it was announced. I don't know if it's official yet, but I do believe it's accurate information because ESPN's reporting it. Kentucky, Shane, has hired offensive coordinator Joe Sloan, who was from LSU. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of questioning that one, Shane, because offense, obviously an issue down at LSU. I think last year it wasn't as bad, but remember, he had some NFL talent on both tackles.
Yeah.
Tight end was one of the tackles, I think, was the left tackle, Campbell's 6th overall pick. We had the tight end was drafted very high. Garrett Nussmeier was solid. And still, there was a lot of, how good is this offense? And that was a total implosion. Yeah. So I'm not 100% sold. I'm not saying Joe Sloan's like the worst coach known to man or anything, but he does have a good reputation as a recruiter.
Yeah.
And now you have to believe that Will Stein, the head coach, is going to be heavily influencing the offense because that's what he did up at Oregon. But any thoughts on Joe Sloan as the offensive coordinator at Kentucky?
I think the fact that you're pairing him with Stein, right? So a little bit like Golish is, I feel like this is going to be his baby, but Sloan is, at least a man that can take care of that responsibility, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't hate it. It's funny how we spin things. Like I'm just telling you, this is terrible. But then I'm like, you know what? Maybe Brian Kelly was holding him back, because he held a lot of people back. So
that's fair.
Maybe it's just my optimism here. I feel like Bobby P under Jimbo Fisher, It's like they never let him coach. Right.
And certainly you could also say, of course, Garrett Nussmeier got injured.
Yeah.
Had he not gotten injured, Joe Sloan probably looks like a hell of a lot better coach,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Hey, speaking of cousins, how about Cousin Joe? We appreciate you.
Cuz.
At this point, the conference championship shouldn't count as a win or loss for a playoff spot. It's an extra game that others aren't playing.
Yes. I heard there's a clip floating around with, I didn't get to finish it, but John Gruden, he was talking about that. Mm-hmm. He was just comparing it to the NFL. You don't jump into the playoffs and then you take the two best teams and let them play a game while the other ones get a bye week. You just don't do that. And it makes perfect sense. Georgia and Alabama, two of the best teams, probably favorite teams to compete in the national championship. They will be playing while Ole Miss and A&M sitting there at the house, just taking it all in, getting rest. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't.
You know what does make sense?
What's that?
Freedom Van giving us $5. Appreciate you.
Cuz.
Kirby's not the clapper. Auburn is the clapper. He said they're clapping.
That's good. It's good.
And shit, we appreciate you, buddy. $10. Just remember that Kurt Signetti, the Indiana coach, was one of the first to say, we're not going to schedule any hard games out of conference because what's the point?
We're going to take a page out of the SEC's book, he said.
Well, they have it even worse up there, Shane. They don't have to play. Everybody in the SEC's got to play one power conference opponent out of conference. They don't have to do it.
not only did they play 4 cupcakes, but again, that conference is so top heavy that, again, apples and oranges. I don't need to tell you that. I don't need to tell the cousins that. They know what's up.
I wish you could tell the committee.
Where's that Penn State guy? He pops in every now and then. I'll tell him.
And then, hey, I just thought this was interesting. A little off topic here, but Eli Drinkwitz, he had his signing day press conference yesterday.
Yeah.
Buddy, he said, watch out. And I'll explain it further, but he said, oh, wait, I wanted to play this too real quick while we were talking Kentucky. Yeah. We'll get right back to Drink.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
I like this. Will Stein, Kentucky coach, he was asked, what do you look for in a quarterback? I love this answer, Shane.
So when you're evaluating quarterbacks, what are you looking for? What's the thing that jumps out to you that says, I can turn this guy into a winner?
Yeah, everybody wants to look at height, weight, speed. And, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, that's where you start kind of in recruiting. Do they fit the measurables? But at quarterback, it's so much more than that. It's, do they have the mental makeup to be the toughest MFer on the field? Because that's what they got to be. They got to be mentally and physically tough. That's really where it starts with me. And then processing ability, being extremely accurate. I think if you look at the guys that I've coached recently, all over 70% passers. If you're not over 70% in high school, what makes you think you're going to be 70% in college? So we look at that. Arm talent only takes you so far. You rarely ever throw it 70 yards unless it's a Hail Mary situation. So can you be accurate? Can you throw on time? Can you withstand the confines of a pocket? And then in today's modern football, you got to be mobile. It's not mean that you got to be a 4-3 guy or run extremely fast, but you got to be able to escape throughout the pocket and make plays outside with your feet.
Got to be the toughest MFer on the field. I like hearing that, don't you?
Stein always looks like he's done something and he doesn't want to tell the cops, you know? I don't know if you noticed that, but he's a little shifty, you know what I'm saying? That's what they'd probably want to question him a little bit longer. Speaking of questions, what about Nick Roush getting all dressed? I mean, he got dressed up for this one. I mean, it looked like he pressed that thing. He's like, I'm going to make a good impression with our coach. I thought it was awesome. Hey, it's the words for me, Mike, right? He's saying the right things. And that's what we haven't had up there in a long time, you know? For a long time, it's the same old, and, same old coach speak and the same jokes and blah, blah, blah. You know, they really have got to have a culture shift up there in Lexington and get their ass in gear. And it sounds like this MFer right here is going to do it.
But when he was describing, though, do you think he will mesh with Cutter Boley?
Well, that's hard to tell in one conversation, right?
I just mean, does Cutter fit that mold of what, the toughest MFer? Accuracy.
I want to say yes, because if you watch some of those Kentucky games, there's a lot of times I was surprised Cutter didn't slide, right? There was a lot of times that he's not afraid to take contact. And now, granted, he got banged up a little bit because of it. Right. But, yeah, put some weight on Cutter. I think he'll be fine. And that's just the style he plays. So, yeah, I honestly, now that you mention it, I feel like he could fit here.
And even, I know they got their ass kicked by Vanderbilt, but he got hurt in that game.
Yeah.
And he was out, I can't remember how many plays, but maybe like 3 plays. I mean, it looked like his season could be done. And he's his ass right back in there. You know what?
Dude, I thought they were going to live-star his ass out of there, you know? Then I was like, did they switch jerseys? No, that's the same guy.
So you got to be pretty tough. And he's pretty tough. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
All right. How about
Nick looked tougher, though, you know? Slick Rick.
All right, so back to Eli real quick here.
Yes.
I just thought this was pretty interesting, Shane, and I'll try to explain it in more detail because it's maybe a little bit confusing. But he says, buddy, be careful. We're about to get into perhaps what he anticipates the busiest portal ever. Remember, we only got one portal window.
Yeah.
And it's opening here in a month. Let's kick it over to old Eli.
Educate us on how it works with revenue sharing being a part of it and these kids getting official written things that have never been a part of it in the past.
Yeah, it's really different. It's really different I don't think there's an awareness nationally or with agencies or parents that the previous style of NIL, pass the hat fundraising, renegotiate, okay, well, we'll go call a booster and find a little bit more money to answer that. That's not possible anymore. You have a rev share amount. You have a 3PN, third-party NIL, that is potentially there but not guaranteed, and so you have a budget. And much like people have to balance their checkbook, you have to balance the budget based off of this is what we have slotted for this player, and if I change this number, then it's going to have to come from here. And I think that's a new reality. It's a new reality for our players on our current roster because, again, last year there was front-loading. Last year there was, workarounds in the system that just aren't there yet, that aren't understood, and so you're kind of stuck with hard numbers, hard caps, and to go in and renegotiate is going to have to come from somewhere else. And my personal opinion is I think we're going to see a lot more because of a misunderstanding. I think this will be a very, very active portal season. I think you'll see more players in the portal probably than we have before because they think or are being advised that's going to be a way to create leverage. And again, what we're being asked to do has never been done in the history of college football before, and so we're all kind of learning at the same time.
All right, Chase. So why it's different? What again? He's saying a lot there, but they essentially in last July, if you remember, and I know that was a while ago. But they essentially put in this revenue sharing.
Yes.
Right? So revenue sharing is around $20 million, and most of these schools are allocating around roughly $18 million for football.
Yes.
And then the rest of the sports get the rest. So I know that's a little confusing. But here's what they all did, Shay. They said, okay, we got $18 million to spend, right?
Yes.
But that starts July 1. So how much can we raise before and pay them all before July 1? And a lot of teams like Texas paid allegedly around $30 million.
Yes.
And then they get the $18 million. So you got all this money to spend, and all these teams did it. They all have $18 million plus whatever you could cram in there before July 1. Well, now they just have the $18 million.
Yes. Now
you could still do additional NIL, but it's got to be cleared by an agency called NIL Go, I think is the name.
Yeah.
Now here's the tricky part, because to my knowledge, they haven't caught anybody saying paying NIL that didn't get approved, if that makes sense. So basically they're back to the bagmen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what he's trying to say is, hey, we got $18 million to spend, and if you want more, we have to get it cleared. And if we promise you more, then it doesn't get cleared, we can't give it to you. So what he's saying is there's probably players right now that are like, well, I need extra, who knows how much, 100,000, 200,000, and it's not in. If you do that, you exceed that budget of that roughly 18 million, and that's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's just not as much money to go around. But people are not. Who accepts a pay cut?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because it was front loaded, like you said. So, but I'm curious. They were able to do that prior to July, right? I mean, how tough is it to get approved for this? How exactly does that process work? So, say I own a car dealership and I got $1 million I want to give you. So I just got to call them and go through this, fill out, I'm sure a lot of paperwork and whatnot, and just tell them I want to donate $1 million to the NIL. Like, how hard is that to clear, or is there just a large percentage of that getting allocated elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I can't answer that, but that's why he said, if you recall, we highlighted it like a week or so ago.
Yeah,
the Fortune 500 companies, because their donations apparently get approved without any of this paperwork.
Oh.
But what they're really trying to prevent is small business, I guess, because what they don't
gambling and stuff.
Well,
yeah,
what they don't want really is, like, let's say you and I hit the lottery
Yeah.
We're just two idiots that have money somehow, and we want Tennessee to get all the best players, and there's no real NIL. Like, you have to justify the NIL now, basically. If it's just us saying, hey, let's give this 5-star quarterback $1 million to come on our podcast one time.
Yeah.
That's not allowed.
Okay.
But it was before.
I got you. Yeah, it's going to be a slippery slope. But in that verb, or in all that words that he said, I think what he was alluding to is that there's some kids that may be under the impression that certain amounts are going to be there. And when they don't show up, that's what's going to make this portal interesting. But I'm curious, Mike, if that date is July, will the kids even know by the time? I'm sure they will, right? Their agents and stuff. Like, hey, wait a minute. That $1 million you got last year, they're only going to give you $200,000 this year.
Right. And that's, who's that going to be? Who's going to accept that? $800,000 less? My ass is getting in the portal.
Yeah.
Because I'm just making a school up here, right? But Florida's telling me they'll give me more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whoever.
Calm down, Mike. Is there a Chick-fil-A near you?
Chicken says, Cousin Shane giving his NIL to the caddy.
Yeah, that's right. I needed him today, man. As great as the day yesterday was, today was terrible. I almost gave up. Just walk off the damn course.
Hey, well, speaking of, you know who impressed, Shane?
Who's that?
I don't know if you saw any of this yet, but our guy, Ryan Silverfield, Shane, he's guaranteeing the best recruiting class in Arkansas history.
Oh, doggy.
Oh, that's how you win some fans.
Probably talks for about 20 hours straight to these guys, just text message talking and just, talking all about it. But I think part of it, some of these guys I'd built relationships over time, over the years, just getting to know them, and then just selling them for the vision of what we're going to do and what we're all about. It started because they have a bunch of in-state pride. And that was one of the reasons that drew me to this job anyways. Like the guys that sit there and say, I want to be part of this program because this is home for me. And whether home's in Little Rock, this is still home for them. And so a lot of the guys are, man, I want to be a part of this. And then understanding what the passion is and what it's like and building something special, right? And like we talked about, it's not we're not going to be good 3 years from now. We're going to help be a part of this thing to get this thing flipped. And a lot of people have sensed that. And I think you got to see what it was like. And I look forward to actually, taking a deep breath, figure out what this thing is. But probably by February, we're going to start putting in the best recruiting class in program history for the 2027 class. And gosh darn, if I get a full 5 months to do so, that's going to be a heck of a deal.
Oh, they're calling him Silver Nuts down there. Hey, so he's called his shot. Gotta like that, don't you?
I like it. I like the attitude, right? Because you were the guy that least amount of people talked about on hiring day. So I feel like that fits that Arkansas team perfect. This us against the world, and if we can go out here and shock the world by putting together the best recruiting class ever assembled, yeah, that would change a lot of narratives going into 2026, Mike. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This portal window is going to be absolutely electric. So when does it officially start? So kids can jump in right now, but there's no need, right?
No, they can't. They technically can't jump in. They can say they're going to go in, but it doesn't open till January.
Okay.
Early January, I believe, for 15 days. And speaking of the portal and the current, so he can spin all the stories he wants, right?
Yeah.
But he's got to win over that locker room. Sounds like he's off to a good start, Shane. Here he is, Silver Nuts, talking to quarterback KJ Jackson and Quincy Rhodes, our outstanding defensive lineman.
Quincy, you're all in for your senior year? Yeah. Let's go. KJ, you got something for us? I'm all in too. Yes, sir. Let's go. Some good news to get this day going along with the press conference. So
you hadn't shared that with me. That's big news.
That's big news. Yeah, I was good. Keeping it on the edge. Let's go.
So there you go, Shane.
We ain't telling Hunter shit. That's what he's saying. I can't even believe you're at this table with me. Thanks for the hire. Now get the hell out of here. Go screw up the college football playoffs.
So he's already got commitments from 2 key players. Now, it's one thing for them to commit now. Let's see when the portal opens up. But it's hard not to be impressed with what he's doing so far.
I mean, team leaders enjoying his company. I mean, that's the main thing, Mike. At the end of the day, I mean, whether he wows us at the podium or, sends out stupid tweets or, a mysterious dog shows up at his door. The one thing that I like about some of these guys is it's the conversations they have in the locker room. I go back to the one from Kentucky, that MFer. He ain't saying MFer in that part. He's getting them boys fired up. You know what I'm saying? And when he's in the living room and he said, hey, man, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do something special down here. Do they believe it? So the fact we're getting commitments already from a team, Arkansas, that's coming off, 9 losses in a row, that's they got dealt some bad cards this year, man. I feel like that speaks volumes to what old Silver Balls or Silver Nuts, whatever they call him, has already started there in Arkansas.
And he also said, apparently, Shane, this is kind of funny, but
yeah,
I don't hate it. He said he has banned loser mentality from the facility. So he's turning it around. And old Hunter, I know he's not very popular.
Yep.
But he claims that Arkansas is going to be in the top half of SEC and NIL now. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's about damn time, right? You know what I'm saying? Poor Sam. God,
so you know what I said online?
What?
There's 16 teams, right?
Yeah.
So where's Arkansas going to rank? 6, 7.
Yeah.
He should have busted it out for that,
Damn, no. Is that thing dead yet?
I think he officially killed it,
My kid does that. She talks, so she doesn't say 6, 7 anymore, but she's just talking with her hands like that. I'm like, dude, you got to stop that. What if you're in an interview? You can't be doing that. 6, 7. How dumb.
Arkansas, I've made that joke on Twitter's Arkansas fans are not happy.
Well, it's funny because we realize it. I didn't realize it until I got older, but we all had like our sayings, right? Like, what's that? You remember the Bud? I mean, how many times were we was up and, dilly dilly?
Mine was always, give me 2, Utah. Remember that?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Dilly dilly. Remember that one? That was, that one stuck around for a while. I'm just doing all the beer ads.
Well, you know what you really should be selling, Shane?
What's that?
Ridge.com.
Oh,
go check them out. Ridge.com/SEC to get you 10% off the Ridge Wallet 2.0. They also got outstanding keychains as well. I mean, these suckers are heavy, Shane, because they're made out of fine metal. I don't know if you can hear that. Aluminum, titanium. Really, really quality stuff. They got the RF blocker, blocks the scammers from stealing your info. It's got your money clip. One day when I have money, I'm going to put some in there. Man, can you even see this thing, Shane? It's that thin. Imagine having this sucker in your pocket instead of that fat wad of leather that's probably rotten from the inside. This ridge don't rot. You know what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't. It is fancy. I was wondering if that RF blocker was causing that popping yesterday. Got near that microphone, So yeah, keep them scammers away because they're out there right now. So, and the Ridge, it's just a solid piece of. I mean, I liked it because it took me about 3. I had to watch a YouTube video, figure out how it works, and then I felt really dumb because it's super simple. They make it easy, and once you get it, I tell you what, you want to be the cool kid. Be like, I got this. And then you pull that thing out, they're like, damn, I'm getting a good tip.
I'm not going to lie, Shane. I did the exact same thing. I was like, let me YouTube this real quick. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. That's pretty simple. But they got you covered there. You know what?
It's funny because YouTube's got that thing and it's telling you like what you watch and stuff like that. Of course, that SEC podcast, top of my list. But the second thing was like how-to videos. So, yes, there's been a lot of things around the house I didn't know how to fix or do. So I had to watch it on YouTube.
Hey, and Ronnie's got an excellent question, Shane. How does Shane not have a Coors Light NIL deal?
Brother, you land it, I'll give you half the commission. I don't know why. I'd reach out to all these people. We were this close to Yingling, and then they disappeared, so I don't know. So, yeah, I will drink
we picked
whatever
against Mizzou
beer.
one too many times, I guess.
Find us a beer company, and I will start drinking it on the show. Every point. No.
All right, Shane, let's get into some SEC championship discussion. How about that, buddy?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got them Dogs, and we got the Tide, of course. Georgia favored by 2.5 points. Over under 48.5. Drew Bobo,
Yes.
outstanding center for Georgia, out for the game. One report said he may be out for the year, so that's really tough. Alabama defensive lineman LT Overton, he's out due to an illness. So both teams kind of hurting in the trenches a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
But I did want to play 2 clips here, Shane. One of old Kirby.
Yeah.
Just asked him about, how's it feel, stakes of this game. And he said, you know what, Shane? Every damn game here in Georgia is a playoff game.
How much does this feel like a playoff game?
Well, every game's a playoff game because for us, every game to this point would have probably taken, us out of the SEC championship game or out of the playoffs. So, your back's against the wall every week in this conference. It's not new to either team. So it's the next one. And you can't make it bigger than it is. It's a big moment. It's a chance for an SEC championship. And around our place, they put numbers up, in the banners in the hallways for when you win SEC championships. And that's significant to me. These kids, these players, they want an opportunity to win this conference. They mostly grew up around this conference, and they know how hard it is to achieve an SEC championship. So we want to be at our best, and we got a elite opponent to go against to do it.
All right, Shane. Are you buying that? Every game's a playoff game for Georgia.
Hell yeah. I've had a bullseye on my back since I was born, says Kirby Smart. So, yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like I saw the hair comment because I ain't got time for that. All my focus needs to be on this show and bringing the best content to you cousins. So I ain't got time to do my hair like SEC Mike.
Now, on the flip side, Shane.
Yes.
Kirby's getting asked about, how important this game, his playoff nature. And that Kalen DeBoer's asked, hey, you going to Penn State?
I know this is a little off topic, but since we're all here for 30 minutes, just what do you think when people link you to the Penn State job and say that you and your family aren't happy at Alabama?
Yeah, we are extremely happy at Alabama. It's the first time I've been asked, so I appreciate you, Charlie. And we are extremely happy here. Love the challenge, love the grind, love this place. And there's never been any link. There's never been any conversation. There's never been any interest either way. And so I'm glad we can put that to bed right now.
Someone a little distracted for the SEC championship. What do you think about that, Shane?
I don't think Penn State's going to hire anybody then. How are they? They're getting down there on the list. No, this is the right thing to say. And honestly, I don't think anybody's going to take. There'll be somebody take the job, right? But Kalen DeBoer, I never really thought it was a good spot. But man, at the end of the day, when you think of the best jobs in the country, Mike, Alabama's in that list, right? Always has been, always will be. I think of, and I'm not going to list them, but I'll just put them in the top 5 countrywide best jobs. So Penn State's nowhere near that. So I don't even know why that would be entertained, because if you can't win it all at Bama, there's no way in hell you're going to do it up there in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny that we're going into this massive showdown, and these are the questions old DeBoer is getting. But man,
do you wonder in this game, Mike? Honestly, it's all coach speak, and Kirby comes out and says the right things. It's important, and yada yada yada. But do you feel like there is a little reserve? Kirby infamous. He always talks about playing hurt or playing injured. There's like a difference.
Yeah.
But do you push those kids in a week like this, knowing that even if you lose, that's okay? You got them here in another week or two in the playoffs?
I think you do, because if you win, now maybe you don't want that long of a layoff, but if you win, you get almost a month off.
Yeah.
Is that too long though?
That's a long time, man.
Right.
That's
but
a long.
Now, if you're losing it,
Yeah.
you're probably playing again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I guess that doesn't kill you one way or another. But I would be actively trying to get that bye.
Yes. Yeah, I get that. I get it. But wouldn't you have home field advantage if you lose?
You would. Well,
Yeah.
yes. Well,
maybe.
Bama is not getting it if they lose, but Georgia's getting it if they lose.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bama may get kicked out of the whole thing. I don't think they will, but they could. So that's why all week I've been thinking about that, Shane. I think the motivation is more with Alabama.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's fair?
I think it is fair. But then part of me, Mike, I think of Kirby Smart playing defense for the University of Georgia and completely understanding the significance of winning an SEC championship, you know?
Right.
So there's a part of me that kind of wonders about that as well. So it almost feels, I'm glad you said that. It feels like Alabama's playing for a playoff spot and Georgia is playing for pride.
Right. And Kirby ain't playing in the damn game.
No, he's not.
This almost feels like one of these coaches where he's like, he's just trying to sell it. He's trying to sell it to it more important. Remember Nick Saban used to always talk to his team through the media. I feel like that's what Kirby's doing.
Yeah.
Because he's a little afraid his team's going to come out flat. I think they may have done that against Georgia Tech. They didn't look that good to me.
Yeah.
It was a holiday type game Friday.
Yeah.
You know, the players were like, "Fuck, this stadium again." Well, guess what? We're going to be here in 8 more days. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Of course, I guess they didn't know it was locked in at that point. But I would, if it's going through the motions, this is the first time for DeBoring to be in the SEC championship. Georgia was just there. Georgia's in regardless.
Yeah.
That's kind of my biggest concern going into this matchup.
A little close to home too, you know? It's like drive down the street, meet my boys, stay out late. What was the name of that place again? Stats. Go over there.
Stats. It could be there with Shane and Mike over there.
Yeah, have a cold brewski and then go back to the game. Kirby won't smell. So, I go back and forth with this game because here we are talking about the insignificance of it, and if we're saying it, they have to feel it, right? So I just wonder if there's not give up, because when you get in there, you got to remember, we're talking about the elite of the elite, Mike. You know, these are just freak athletes at their high school. You know, the best athlete that's probably ever came out of their county, and they've been shooting their shot so that they can get to the NFL. And I just feel like there's that. I'm reversing it, Mike. I feel like there's just that competition, that little competitiveness in there, that they are the best and that this game's going to be important to them. So yes, no other game will be on except for this one.
And couldn't you make the argument, Shane, that this may be the toughest game these two face until maybe even the national championship?
Yeah. Yeah. What's crazy is they may play 3 times this year.
Let me ask you this: whoever wins, it could be Georgia, could be Alabama.
Yeah.
Does your confidence go up that whoever wins on Saturday is winning the national championship, or does it not affect you much?
It depends, right? I feel like if there's a team that, I don't want to say blows them out, but just handles business on both sides, I feel like that could sway me if I ever see these teams play again. If it's a tight one, which I'm predicting, then no, I feel like this game will tell me absolutely nothing. In fact, I probably learned more about the first time they played than the second.
So now you're back to this game no matter.
I know. It's infamous seesaw of the SEC championship.
Which quarterback do you trust right now to win a ball game of this magnitude? Gunnar Stockton, who he's had some pretty damn clutch moments this season, Shane. We got Ty Simpson. At a time there, he looked like he was going to win the Heisman. He may be the first overall pick in the upcoming draft. He started to fade a little, but that's just because he was at such a high peak previously. Which quarterback you got more confidence in to win this game?
Neither one. It's almost
you got to pick one.
I know. I'm thinking, man. But
neither.
You know what? You know what I do? I go back to that Horton touchdown, even though it's a little push off, right? But, he's falling back. That was a clutch play, right?
Yeah.
And then when I think of Gunner, the first thing I think of is him running. So which one do I have more confidence in? I'm going to say Ty because I've seen more big-time plays from him in big-time moments. So give me Ty right now.
How about the weapons around each quarterback? Who do you got more confidence in? Georgia's got the great receivers, Branch.
Yeah.
Noah Thomas coming along. They got some outstanding tight ends. They got the running backs emerging now.
Yeah.
At Alabama, running backs, see, they're just so streaky, Shane. One week they look like $1 million. One week they look non-existent.
Yeah.
They've got 2 receivers that are really good. And the offensive line's kind of similar. One week they look like a liability. The next, they look like $1 million. What about the supporting cast? Which do you trust more here?
I'm going to go Georgia on that one. I feel like now streaky, right? I think that's a good word for it. You see Jam, all of a sudden he's doing some amazing things. You're like, shit, Bama's got it figured out, and then they disappear. Horton I mentioned, but I just feel like overall consistent, a little more consistent than the other is the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay,
barely.
And which defense? Shane? I think Alabama's defense is sneaky good. I kind of gave up on them a little bit early in the year, but especially after that Florida State game. But they have turned around. Meanwhile, Georgia, man, about halfway through, I said, God, is Kirby Glenn Schumann? Are we gonna fire his ass? Now they have kind of turned it on. And now that Texas win looks even better after they beat A&M. Which defense you like better?
That's crazy because I'm kind of flip-flopping. I think Georgia, especially here the last couple of weeks, you think going against Arch Manning, going against Haynes King, they were able to be elite. And, I think they're the ones that won that Georgia Tech game, in my opinion. So, I go Georgia here.
Okay.
Again, not by much.
Any other big, any critical areas or matchups you have your eye on in this matchup?
Coaching, Mike. I feel like, Kirby looked human a few times last season, right? And I thought early this season was going to be the same thing, but I always halftime adjustments has always been Kirby Smart's thing. But I feel like you really got to have a game plan, right? You can't just have a couple of special plays up your sleeve here. This is playing chess. And I feel like this is going to be a close football game. I feel like it'll be a low-scoring football game. And I think it's going to come down to 1 or 2 key possessions. Not tricks. I'm not talking flea flickers here, but I do think there's going to have to be a little creativity to get separation in this game. And that's going to be with the coaching.
Is it possible, though, because Kirby's the best?
Yeah.
Is it possible Bama's in his head a little bit? Even like this year, going for it, fourth. And it was like, what are we doing? We're giving the ball to Cash Jones on a sideways run on 4th and short. You know what I mean? Like, is there maybe something to where Kirby's just not quite Kirby against Bama?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, just not scared, but afraid to make the right move. You know what I'm saying? It's like that old Gladiators. You remember when they're running through the door and there could be a big gladiator behind it or not? It just feels like he does check up a little bit, knowing that that Bama could be around the corner.
All right, Shane. Anything else before we reveal our predictions?
Again, injuries. There's a lot of questionables in this one. That's another one. How bought in do they really need to be here? Is there a lot of give up in this game? And the turnovers. You could say that about any game, but I feel like this is going to come down, like I said, to 1 or 2 drives, but maybe even just 1 or 2 plays. A big negative play or a turnover or something like that to just kind of create that momentum. And similar to Texas and Georgia last year, it was a couple of crowd. I mean, that crowd was dead at times, but then all of a sudden Georgia really came alive. So, is there some big moments in this one?
And don't forget, Shane, I just want the cousins to be aware.
Don't pick my team is what you're saying.
Here's the season totals. Steven and the cousin. I got cousin JP. He gave us a prediction, so I'll reveal that at the end.
Yeah.
So we may have a tiebreaker here, Shane, between Steven and the cousins.
Do I have a chance to come back? No, I'm pretty much done.
We'll count this one as 20.
Like Final Jeopardy.
All right, so who you got, Shane? Bama or Georgia in Atlanta?
Great question, Mike. Great question. Like you were going to ask me another. Sorry, it's getting late. I'm going to go Alabama 28, Georgia 27, Morristown Honda.
Ooh.
Give me Bama. I feel like you hit the nail on the head. They own him. Not own him. They got him. You could say they kind of owned him here lately. But more importantly, Mike, I don't think Georgia really needs this game. I think Bama really does. And because of that, because the stakes are a little bit higher, I feel like there's more buy-in for that Tide team. And because of that, I've got a close one. And unfortunately, what's his name? Woodring?
Yeah, the kicker. He's going to miss?
He's going to miss him an extra point.
He's an elite kicker, Shane.
Well, I didn't say he was going to go wide left. He may get blocked, Okay. A little special action.
Yeah. As much as I like Kirby,
Terrence
Shane.
Cody comes through the middle,
I think old DeBoring, I think he's an elite big game coach in these matchups, Shane.
Yeah.
You got to remember, now he's faced Kirby twice, right?
Yes.
I know it's hard to remember this far back, but Alabama came out, absolutely blew the doors off Georgia last year. And then Georgia made the epic comeback, and then they got the Ryan Williams touchdown to win it. But point being, he's got Kirby figured out. And then earlier this year, everybody was picking Georgia. It was in Athens. And they just sliced and diced their ass for the first half. Now, they didn't do anything in the second half. But if Bama comes out here and does something similar, like has a hot start, I'm right there with you. I think Alabama's going to win this football game. So I think it's going to be paramount that Georgia is the one that starts fast, break that streak. But I can't pick Georgia to beat Alabama. Bama's beating them 9 out of 10. And both times under DeBoring. So, right, I think Georgia's a better team.
Yeah.
I think Georgia should win this game. I think Georgia should go further in the college football playoff. But this is a game of upset, Shane. This is a game of one team kind of owns the other. One team's in the head of the other. And I like Bama. It's funny you did Morristown Honda. Morristown Honda, 31-30. A little bit higher scoring than you. I'm a little concerned that Georgia's offense, what it looked like last week against Tech. Tech's not very good. I don't know what was up with that, but Gunner was a little off. If that carries over, this may be a touchdown or more game in Alabama's favor. But Bama and the points, I think, is the play, even though Georgia should win this game.
Yep, I'm right there with you. Just like they should have killed Georgia Tech, I'm watching that opening drive, and honestly, that should have been a safety. And I was like, man, this is going to be over before you know it. Yeah, it was I don't know, it's mistake after mistake. And I never felt like I did a week prior to Georgia. It's like Georgia will they'll have a game and you're like, dude, we're back, baby. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, we're not back. We're not back. We're going to have to fight tooth and nail to win this natty this year. So that's what it kind of feels like.
So we double cousin cursed Bama.
Yep.
Shane.
Dogs by 20.
Let's get to JP real quick. So here's his pick. For me, I'm just reading his email here, Shane. The SEC championship's a hard one. The easy answer would be to say this one is a toss. Could go either way. These two teams have constantly been at it in this one. Bama has Georgia's number for sure. However, for me, it looks like the past few weeks, Bama has been on the small decline while Georgia has gotten better. DeBoer has proven to be the right man to be Nick Saban's replacement, but I believe Kirby will have the defense ready for this matchup. Say what you will of Brett Venables and Oklahoma, but they found the formula to beat Bama again, he notes. And I believe Kirby will watch that Oklahoma game extensively in prep for this one. Georgia made some mistakes early versus Bama, but not this time. It will be a good and competitive game for sure, but I have to go with Georgia winning a close one. So the Cousins probably going to expand their lead. If the Cousins pick Georgia and we pick Bama, safe bet, and Steven also picked Georgia, which is not gonna help the tiebreaker there.
So, we're counting the rest of the games, right? Bowl games, and are you ending on this note?
Probably this note right here.
Where's JP at? Where's he at? So he could do something right now. He could come join the dark side. Pick Bama.
To switch his pick.
I mean, I'm telling him what to do here, but a broken clock is right twice a day, and this may be that day, and the Cousins can win. So I'm looking at the Cousins. Do they want to go out with a tie with Steven?
Well, in fairness, I asked him before Steven gave me his pick.
You asked him
before Steven gave the pick.
Yeah, I know,
because I didn't want them to be influenced by each other's pick. I feel like that's cheating.
But can he reverse it right now on live, that SEC podcast, and just say Bama, and then, I mean, I
think you got to go with your pick.
I mean, if you're at a casino, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, and the dealer hits what? I don't know. All right, whatever. All right, he's going to stick with them dogs. All right, fine. All right, Cousins.
Ryan says, love to see the Georgia disrespect. Kirby is that dude. We don't disagree.
No. I hope he watches this show on the way to the game. Just give him a little extra fuel.
Well, you know who's giving me extra fuel, Shane?
Who's that, cuz?
Garrett McCarthy. Thank you, Garrett. And the legend, Steven.
Roll Tide. Showing up for them boys in Tuscaloosa. It's Steven up. Roll Tide.
Thank you, Steven up. He gifted to Army. Thank you for your service, brother.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Cuz.
All Day Trey Shade gifted the Mike Bond. What a cool name. Appreciate you, All Day Trey.
Thank you, Trey.
Freedom Van, he gifted T3 Appel. Hope I didn't butcher that. Thank you, Freedom Van. And then All Day Trace, keeping it all day, brother.
Hell yeah.
Gifted Pink Salts all day. Thank you for that. And then Sheehan, the money man, he gifted.
Thank you, Sheehan.
King Troll 6. So all of y'all, welcome
to the family.
Yeah. And remember, we're going to be at the old Stats Brew Pub here.
Yes, sir.
This will be, Saturday, of course, Atlanta. The game starts at 4 Eastern. We're going to be there 3 Eastern. We're going to be there for the whole game. Yeah. Stats Brew Pub, 300 Marietta Street, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, right next to the College Football Hall of Fame, which is very close to the stadium. So very easy to find us down there. We're going to be tearing it up, pounding some beers. Come get drunk with us. We ain't driving. We got hotels, so we're good.
Yes. One beer for every point them dogs win by, right, Mike?
Should we down a drink for every touchdown?
Yeah. Take a shot for every parent cam, you know?
No, not that.
Ty's parents are gonna be there.
Oh, and I did find this. I don't know if you find this interesting at all.
Yeah.
But because everybody says, damn, Bama, Georgia. This is only the 5th time that it's been played. Now, like 5 is a lot.
Yeah.
But LSU, Georgia's met in the SEC championship more. And it's not even, it's half as many as Bama, Florida. Did you realize there was that many that are not? I mean, Bama, Georgia's only met 4 times in the SEC championship.
That's crazy. It feels like a lot more, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Look at all them Tennessees down there. Man, I miss the good old days.
And we also have this. So there's been 33. So this will be the 34th SEC championship. Bama won the first one over Florida. Teams without an appearance: Kentucky, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, A&M, and Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Just some interesting stuff. Western Division, 19-13. Of course, we don't do divisions anymore. But only 2 games, Shane, have been decided by 1 point. We both have as a 1-point game, right?
Yeah.
So this would be only the 3rd time ever it's a 1-point game if it plays out that way.
Ooh.
And only 1 overtime game, and that was last year.
I think it just feels like a 1-point game, don't it?
Yeah.
It just feels like it's going to come down the wire. I would be extremely shocked if this thing was a multiple score separation. It doesn't feel that way. I think we're going to have a hell of a ball game.
And it looks like, shout out Brandon, he gave us $5, Shane. So Blake Baker, it looks like he's going to be LSU defensive coordinator under Lane Kiffin. But Tulane is apparently maybe hiring Blake Baker as head coach. So LSU may have to go back to the drawing board for a defensive coordinator. Any idea, anybody in the SEC or anybody in the country you would want Lane Kiffin to bring to LSU as a defensive coordinator?
Man, I hope he don't take Banks. That would suck. I don't know, man, but it is kind of nice that he's getting a little bit of his own situation here. So that would be awesome. Tulane. I mean, Baker did great. Giving him an opportunity, I think that would be awesome. As far as DCs, I mean, there's not one that really stands out to me, honestly, Mike, that because at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know. Maybe from within, hell, I don't even know who else down there anymore.
You know, one I really like, I don't know if he could get him, though. He probably could, but
Todd
how about
Grantham.
stealing South Carolina's Clayton White?
I don't know if you could get him. I don't know if Lane could
yeah.
get him. Yeah, I don't know. But that, I mean, obviously that would be a good one, right? Bring Coach O. You know, I mean, he says he's been channeling his Coach O, you know, on his way to the airport.
And then, Shane, appreciate you. Feel free to use Money Man for my soundbite if I ever earn one. Ooh, there you go, JP. We need us a Money Man Shin soundbite.
Cha-ching!
All right, anything else, buddy, before we hop off?
Oh, no. Look forward to seeing everybody down there. So be sure to check it out. It's going to be all weekend long. Even if you can't make the stats, check out that fanfare. I think it's awesome. Maybe we'll run into each other. Mike will be there Friday. I'll be down there early Saturday. And, of course, stats Saturday at 3 o'clock. So look forward to seeing everybody there. Shout-outs. Today's shout-outs go to Steven Up, All Day Trade, Cousin Joe, Freedom Van, Shin, Buddy Israel, Ryan Ween, and Brandon Norwood. Thank you all. Thank you, JP, for putting the list together, and God bless you all.
Absolutely. All right, enjoy the SEC championship game. We'll check in as we can, but if we're unable to, the next time we'll see you Sunday. Busy day Sunday, Shane.
Yes.
Playoff rankings reveal. I'm going to go live for that. We may have more coaching news. Who knows? A lot to dive into. So stay locked into the channel. Like, subscribe, share. Doesn't cost you a thing. Really helps the show grow. But until then, we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah. See you guys. Go Vol.
Hey, buddy. This beer's for you, Mike, and Cousin Shane. That SEC podcast loves the Pirate, and the Pirate loves that SEC podcast. Hail State.